the background is. So, of course, I begin by saying my name is Dina Leader, and I'm the second cousin of Eileen Stendig. That is, my dad and Eileen were first cousins. I'm here today with my brother Igor Feldman, who mercifully picked me up at 4:45 this morning in Boca, guided me sleepily to catch a plane from Fort Lauderdale, and then drove us here from the Charlotte airport. What I'm really saying is that nothing would have prevented us from honoring Eileen and being with all of you today.
God bless you.
Yesterday, our family lost a wonderful mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother. Equally important, however, is that the world lost a Renaissance woman, a woman whose interests ranged from music, art, and literature to making her home and family beautiful. Eileen represented a world that barely exists anymore, a world where people endeavor to excel in all areas of their lives. After my father passed away, Eileen sent an email in which she recounted, "Joe and I have been remembering good times with Shlomo, your family and ours, and especially the first time we met him. It was, we believe, in 1971, by the way, that's not exactly the year, when we went to the Soviet Union on a business trip for people in the hotel and restaurant business. My father was able to notify Shlomo that we were going to be in Moscow, and he took a 20-hour train trip with his sister to meet us. We communicated in Yiddish as best as we could, with Shlomo translating in Russian for Masha. We spent several days together. They joined us on sightseeing tours, and Shlomo spoke of his hopes, and he and his family would be able to come to the U.S. That was actually the beginning of our close relationship that spanned many years. I met Eileen in 1972, when shortly after arriving in the U.S. from the former Soviet Union. She joined us for a press conference at the White House. As we exited the White House, Eileen, being who she was, did not waste any time and immediately proceeded to give me my first lesson in the English language. She pointed to a tree and said, "Dina, this is a tree," waiting for me to repeat the word, which of course I dutifully did. Looking deep into her eyes, she smiled, and I was gratified to feel that I was well on my way to conquering the English language. My image of America was based on seeing the only uncensored American movie in Russia, Gone with the Wind. This image was soon shattered, however, when we settled in the Bronx. I could not believe that America was filled with women covering their hair with large pink rollers and kerchiefs while skillfully navigating their wagons through the A&P aisle. For those of you not yet born in the 70s, a wagon was a metal shopping cart on 4 wheels, sort of a precursor to a Samsonite wheelie today. Do you remember those?
Yeah, of course.
When Eileen and Joe invited me to visit Danville and spend a month-long summer vacation in the Stendig household, it was a long way from Leidig Avenue in the Bronx. Life in Danville was a whole new experience with Eileen as its matriarch. Eileen, dazzling in her red Chanel lipstick, glided in and out of our daily routine as she elegantly transitioned from Anna Kournikova to playing Scrabble with the kids, to being the unbeatable Jeopardy contender, to juggling the household, a business, 5 children, and whatever else came her way. I observed her in secrecy and in awe as she showed me a world of possibilities. She opened a little immigrant girl's eyes and taught me that I could be whatever I wanted to be. A concept totally at odds with my upbringing in the FSU. She was my role model, and I hope that one day to have an opportunity to be just, and I had hoped one day to have an opportunity to be just like Eileen. I know that I was not the only one whose life she touched in that way. And so Eileen, and I know you can hear me, I want to thank you for being my inspiration. In Judaism, we have a concept of l'dor v'dor, from generation to generation. If Eileen were standing here today instead of me, and looking out at all of you, she would know that her dreams were fulfilled. In your beauty, your enthusiasm for life, you represent l'dor v'dor, the passing of a torch from generation to generation. You maintain the spirit and soul of Eileen Stendig, and she could ask for nothing more.
That's beautiful.